Previously on Project Tom Celica. After a lot of suspension work, Tom is finally sitting on the ground. His engine runs, but something is definitely wrong. The engine won't idle, and the exhaust stinks of unburned fuel. It's bad enough to make your eyes water. We need to figure out what are the possible causes for the engine to run this rough. And where do you go when you need to know something? The interwebs. Looking up the 22REC engine, the one that's in Tom, we searched for topics like rough idle, runs rich, hard start, and these brought up some pretty well documented lists of what can cause these problems. First was to clean the throttle body and check the throttle position sensor. You should take a second to mark the sensor position on the throttle body before removing it. Luckily, somebody's already done this. Possibly a previous owner was trying to figure this problem out too? According to my research, the sensor electronics rarely fail. But if it isn't working, the spring inside could be broken.
By the way, we're doing all of this simply to look at the mechanics of it and see if it's working. All of this for such a minor thing. It's just twisted. And guess what? Works just fine.
Have your engineer check the electrical side.
Now we're going to test this side. Go ahead and rotate it.
A quick check of the mass airflow sensor reveals nothing. Next, I wanted to know if the fuel pump was working correctly. To have it run without the engine running, you have to jump this port. Now just set this ignition to the on position, and you should be able to hear the pump buzzing away.
Do it. Okay.
We let Rick handle all the electrical work because I don't care if he gets shocked.
I don't know why you're talking. I'm going to edit it out.
Why? You should let it stand.
Looks like I win. One of the big problems for rough start is the cold start injector.
First, we check the resistance of the coil. That's a good reading. Now we'll try to activate the injector. I don't hear a click. With the coil being good and no actuation, the injector may be stuck, either open or closed. We'll soak the injector in injector cleaner to see if we can free it up. After soaking for 24 hours, we tried it again. Still no joy. That's when Matt told me to try some percussive therapy. So I knocked on the side of the injector with a screwdriver handle. I tested it again, and the injector now operates. Woohoo! That saved us $150. Okay. Leave it there.
The price is wrong, Bob. While waiting for parts to come in so we can continue testing, Rick got a powder coating set up. With nothing better to do, I decide it's time to add some fun to the engine bay. Hey, check out that nice rolling tool chest workbench combo. So much blue! I want to redo those brackets that I painted out of manic boredom. The power steering pump pulley has to be removed before anything else can come off. Be careful not to lose the crush washer behind the nut. Ask me how I know. The rest is pretty straightforward. Loosen the tensioner and remove the 4 bolts that hold it on. Then unbolt the pump from its bracket. The distributor can stay put. And then pull the pump bracket itself. We also managed to pick up a sandblasting cabinet. This one is good for cleaning up smaller parts, but not great at taking off very thick paint. Everything was cleaned up and taken over to the south annex for powder. A dousing in a little prep-all and a trip to the oven for 20 minutes at 450 degrees has these parts ready to receive some color.
This is our $30 powder coating booth. If you want to see how we made it, leave us a comment down below.
Another trip through the oven and the powder is baked on. Okay, Mr. Editor, turn up that music while I put this stuff back together. After the reassembly, the tensioner pulley looks wild. Now just use your big dumb gorilla hands to fumble the brackets back on in reverse order. This ought to make people smile or cringe. Love it or hate it, you'll have an opinion about it. We want to monitor the fuel pressure, so we need to be able to mount a gauge. One of the best places to do that is right where the cold start injector is. LC Engineering sells an adapter for it. Now you can just screw in the fuel pressure gauge. The little copper washers are super easy to lose, so be careful while removing them.
We are missing a copper washer.
Doesn't matter, we got two right there.
Got two.
Got two brand new ones.
Now, I'll line that on there.
Dude, I was just being careful not to cross-thread it.
Yeah.
But during the pressure test, we heard hissing coming from the engine. Sounds like a fuel injector is stuck open. Could that have been the cause of all of these problems? In the next episode, the startling conclusion to Tom Celica and the leaky spitter.
Appropriate headgear.
Appropriate headgear.